What's up, guys? It's 419 Morse here. We're going to go over some updates. We're going to talk about the Nido virus a little bit. We're going to be dropping some links down in the description. We're going to be dropping the testing where you can get tested for Nido as well for 25 bucks, where you can get the full panel test for $60. So stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a good one. Roll it. What's up, guys? It's 419 Morse here. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing great. Why am I doing great? We got to update real quick. The update was at the zebra way. Yes! Yeah! I know what I'm saying. I took 2 years to work that. You know, that's a big accomplishment for me, guys. I'm excited. I was so excited when I got home from work and, you know, got to open that up and the zebra sitting there on eggs, man. I tell you what, pairing leopard DG hypo to a zebra. I also thank you, Sammy Vargas, as well, because I got your shirt today. Appreciate it. Much love to you. So let's get into this topic real quick. Now, before I discuss this topic, I'm going to tell you that this is my own personal opinions and thoughts on this, but I'm also trying to bring awareness to you, because this is what my channel was about from the get-go, and I still stand by that no matter how hard of a topic it is. But it does need to be brought to attention. So the link will be down for Brittany Gobbles and Johnny Gobbles talk about the Nido virus. It's a really good video. I encourage you guys to check it out. It is long. You're probably going to spend, I believe, at least 2.5 hours watching both parts of it. It's worth it, guys. The information that they drop is phenomenal. Johnny was an ex-veterinarian for 25 years. Talked to many researchers that studied this, veterinarians as well, and cases that he's seen or other people have seen. So we're talking like professional insight on this. There is a lot of misinformation out there. I'm going to try to avoid that the best I can. If I accidentally say something that may not entirely be true, I apologize. Again, this video is just for educational and awareness purposes only and what's going on and why that this video is being made. So, first off, how is this being spread? It is being spread through bodily fluids of the animal, it being on the animal, anyhow, like the virus itself. So, it can be spread through mucus, poop, obviously blood, and it can only affect reptiles. Okay, mainly pythons, ball pythons, carpet pythons are the two major ones. My understanding it can affect beardies too. Someone told me that they tested positive for Nido with beardies as well. I didn't hear that. I know that colubrids cannot get this. Okay, neither can invertebrates such as geckos as well. Okay, they cannot get this. So the backstory of this is what's going on around here is up in Michigan, there was a positive case. So it was tested, it came back positive, and that's worrisome because like we all know it's out there. It's just we just don't talk about it because it's a scary situation, but it's not like it's the boogeyman. Okay, it's not something to run from, you guys. If we take preventative measures, we can help prevent it. But this is a double-edged sword. You're doomed if you do, you're doomed if you don't, but at least you can try to prevent it. So let's go over this, okay? So based off of Brittany's video, and they talk about this as well, for how contagious this is and how easily it can pass. So if I take, for example, if I go handle a snake and it's sick and it has this, and it would say this one is showing symptoms of it, and then I go back home and go start touching my stuff, I just contaminated everything. Okay? So the incubation period of this is 4 weeks, guys. So from the time that this animal contracts this virus to the time it's actually showing symptoms could be up to 4 weeks. That's a long time. And by the time that you're going to see symptoms, it's already too late, because this is normally they call it the collection killer. It's not always the case, because I have heard stories of just one animal testing positive and not the others. But majority of the time, from my understanding, is it goes through a collection really quick and you cannot stop it because it's not curable. You kind of treat the symptoms because it acts like an RI, but a lot of times the snake will not react to it and the symptoms stay there and then the snake ends up dying anyhow. So keep that in thought, because we're going to go over this here in a second once I'm done also explaining some other things. So back to how easy it is to spread. So what's going to be your hottest, zones with that, you guys? You're going to be your expos. People coming in and out of expos or bringing other outside animals into expos for whatever reason, or because the expos let them, and now they contaminated the whole expo. Now this can also happen if a breeder brings in a sick animal or has been by an animal that's been sick and has contracted it, because you don't know where it came from. It could have came from, maybe you didn't quarantine, maybe someone had a sick reptile at home and they didn't wash their hands, and it came in, they start touching everything, and now you have it. It's just one of those things you can't necessarily account someone individually for, because how easily it's spread and how crazy things can get with it. Like I said, you really need to watch Brittany's video. It explains a lot more and go into depth. I'm just giving you guys the general awareness of it and the basics of it. For how easy it is to spread with that. So I get back from my expo, I don't take off my clothes or anything. I'm guilty of this, guys. I'm not perfect, and my biosecurity, Will's biosecurity, Cars, Brian's, we all came together. We were all at fault for this. We talked about it. I'll be 100% honest. We're not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. Nobody is. But let's take a look at some of our practices and stuff that we do that we might overlook, or maybe we could prevent this. Better quarantine. You get an animal. How many times have you seen people's YouTube channels and they unbox an animal in their reptile room? Will says he's done it. I've come home from work and brought him into the reptile room, not thinking, because I had to drop it off real quick and go back to work. You don't think about that stuff sometimes. So when we quarantine, you need to have a separate quarantine procedure that is away from the main collection, and preferably kind of completely, entirely in a different building if you can, or if you're big enough, away from the collection, so you're not cross-contaminating everything. Because like we said, you go touch something, oh, I just contaminated all these, and now I might come in here and touch the snake. Or stuff that you don't think about is when you're cleaning tubs and you take out this snake and you put it in this empty tub. We clean and disinfect this tub, but do we disinfect this tub once that animal's out of it? So 9 times out of 10, what do we do? We grab another snake, we might put it in a different, or in the same tub. Or, we get 2 rows into this, we have 2 rows or whatever, now you're cross-contaminating snakes. I'm guilty of it. I didn't think about that. Watching Brittany's video and stuff, I realized that my biosecurity sucked. In all honesty, we're gonna do more. I'm gonna do more testing personally. I think our group's gonna do more testing personally. We're gonna try to provide that extra security if you buy an animal from me. With that being said too, that's just things you just don't understand. So we got into we're gonna drop links to the F10. Probably one of the better disinfectants out there. You got the F10, you have an XD, an S, what was it? I just bought it. It was an SCXD brand. There's 2 different kinds, okay? Pretty much the one kind is a disinfectant and soap, where you can use it for both cleaning tubs, and the other one's just a disinfectant in general, and that's it. So the links will be down in the description, as well as other links. There's also opti. You can get opti. It kills hard viruses in 1 minute. 1 minute. So I think after talking to us that we're going to switch to an opti scrub, because there is an opti scrub available where it's the same thing. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit better than hand sanitizer in my personal opinion. So hopefully it kills that. We don't know because not so much research has technically been done with the nanovirus, guys. And this brings up another point. What are we doing with animals that are technically positive for nano? Well, they usually call them. Well, is there a way that we can sit there and come together as a community so we can get better results about this and send those sick animals off or do something? I'm not sure entirely what. I'm just throwing out ideas out there, guys, where we can get more research on it because the animal's going to die anyhow. Maybe we can try to cure it. Something might work. I mean, as I hate to say it, the animal's already suffering. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's already going to die. You know, something to think about. A lot of we don't knows out there. We can try to prevent it. We can up our preventative measures, which is what I'm hoping that this video does, because expos are one of the hottest places for this to be transferred. Why? Well, there's so many people there. There's so many snakes and reptiles, and if one animal's sick and people go touch it and then go hold your animal, now it's on the animal's skin, and now the animal is infected. There's also asymptomatic animals out there as well. It's just like COVID, where they don't show signs but they're carrying it. You can have healthy animals that look healthy for a week or 2 weeks, and like I said, and all of a sudden 4 weeks hit and it's sick. You didn't know. We're not supposed. We don't know. You can't possibly know without testing. Yes, it's expensive. Is it logical? Yeah. And let's be real with it too. Like, people get home from expos. Do you quarantine those animals from the expos? I don't. Never thought about it. But I'm going to up my preventative measures because let's be technical about this, guys. If you're going to do this by the book, the incubation period is 4 weeks minimum. You can end up having to quarantine those animals for 4 weeks. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, it is. Is it logical for some breeders to be doing that? On a business aspect, no, because they're not going to these expos to make sales. This is still an industry, people still spend money. So this is a double-sided sword. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Especially for people that do this full time. How many breeders over in Tinley, or even in any of the bigger expos, get back from Tinley, they just brought 400 animals there, 300, 200, 100, whatever they have to sell. After all those people have been there, did they quarantine their animals? No. See, I'm not the only one. But I think us as a community can come together, bring awareness. I hope that we can bust out our preventative measures even more so we can try to limit the spread of this. Now, yes, there is asymptomatic animals out there, which makes it hard. But if we are aware of what's going on and how this is spread, and maybe we can get more research out there, we can control this a little bit or fix it. Maybe we can come up with a cure for it. Maybe we can come up with a different because antibiotics are treated through bacterial. Viruses are treated through antiviral. There's no antiviral out there for nano right now. So that's the problem. So let's start sending stuff into these researchers. Let's do something. We gotta do something, guys. We're going to try to have a live discussion about this on the podcast. I'm going to try to bring in some doctors on the podcast. I'm going to try to bring in people with firsthand knowledge on this. When we're not talking just other breeders, we're talking about experts that have dealt with this. So this is going to be hard to get them to, I think, work for a time based off my schedule, but I'm going to do my best. Like I said, I'm trying to bring awareness to this. Why? Because I don't want to see this go through my collection, Will's collection, or any of your guys' collection, because we worked way too hard keeping these animals alive, feeding them, putting the money into them, taking care of them, all the projects we have animals that we can't replace, we've hit. Like, no one wants that, guys. This isn't a fight. This isn't I'm against you or you're against me. That's not what this is about. This is about being together as a community, as a reptile community, and doing our best that we can to prevent this and come up with maybe possibly a cure in the near future. Nobody's immune to this, guys. Nobody. How many other people have had people in their reptile rooms or facilities? You can get it that way. Maybe they have sick animals at home that you don't know about, and they're in your facility and they're touching everything or touching your animals. Same thing. It really is. Now, I don't have a facility, so no one's really in my reptile room, but you get what I'm saying. Nobody is immune. They're not. We as a community need to better up our practices. That's all I'm saying. Myself included, and the people that I work with included. A couple ideas that people had thrown out to me. If you're worried about the expos and stuff like that, you can take pictures of your animals, put them on your table, say, hey, this is what I have available. These are the expo prices for that animal. We can work out a deal of how to deliver it or ship it, wherever the case may be, because of biosecurity. Is that logical? I don't know. Probably not, because let's be honest, you're probably not going to sell stuff because people like to hold things. So maybe just limit it to serious buyers only, but you still have to understand that risk. That risk is still there, okay? And it's up to you as a breeder, as a vendor, as at these shows to determine your level of security. I hope that we can stop this because there's more cases out there that we don't know about. I'm sure I've tested positive, people aren't saying, or whatever the case may be, because I get it. Freaking, it is a collection killer. People probably won't want to buy off of you, but it doesn't always end a collection where maybe a couple snakes died and the rest of them didn't get it. It's crazy how it works. It really is. Talk to people. Maybe people will reach out to you. I know I've had a couple people reach out to me and said they've had it. I'm not going to say who. It does not matter because I'm keeping all information confidential besides links that I can provide to help prevent this a little bit, which is the F10. There's a opti that you can find that kills viruses in 1 minute. There's an opti scrub that we're talking about switching to at the expos. That it's the same stuff except it's in a hand format where it's going to kill stuff right away. It's awesome. So I don't know, guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I love to hear your opinions. I'm just bringing out awareness because that's what I told my channel would always be from the get-go, from day one. I said I was going to be 100% honest on this channel. I stand by that. Even though this is a very tough topic to cover, because I myself go to a lot of expos. So that's what I'm getting at, okay? I said, when we go to expos, we should technically more likely quarantine for 4 weeks. You should test. They said that people would test for 4 weeks, still have the animal in quarantine, test again, it'd be negative, and then test again 6 months later and it's positive. So according to Brittany and Johnny, off of their opinion, quarantine should be at least 6 months. It's not logical for some people. No. I mean, it's hard for me even, So you can see where I'm getting at, guys. This is a double-edged sword. But I don't think it's something that we need to be afraid of because we've been at plenty of expos and we go look at animals we don't necessarily touch. We just go see their shape in just to have an idea. But again, with everyone touching stuff, cross-contamination, it's crazy. Okay, it really is. It's a very sad subject that I have to make this. I've known about it, but I'm making this because it's always been in the back of my head, but you're like, oh, never me until it is you. Well, what could I have done to maybe prevent it? Is there something I could have done or something different? So I just wanted you guys to look at your own practices like I have. Tell me what you think in the comments. I hope this helped. I'm not trying to bash anyone. I'm not trying to, throw bad at Michigan expos because they're great expos. I support the expos that I go to because they're, Bond's awesome people. But at what point should we really take this seriously? It's just now. And honestly, it should have always been now. But it's just not talked about enough. So we're going to talk about it. So I'll let you guys know. Hope I can get a podcast together with some doctors. Stay tuned. Let me know what you think of the video. Like, comment, subscribe to it. Guys, I hope I did at least it somewhat justice for you. I tried my best. I'm not an expert. I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to be a voice heard in the reptile community, guys. Peace out.